I am a Mocha Mom, and I am back to talk homemaking and homeschooling. When I first started homeschooling, I imagined that because I was home all the time, that meant that, my house would always be clean. I would be making these amazing healthy meals, baking my own bread all the time, doing everything from scratch all of the time, and that I would look like that mom from Leave It to Beaver or like the Brady Bunch, except I don't have a maid, but somehow I would have everything in place like Carol did on the Brady Bunch. But the reality of homeschooling is that it can be all-consuming, and it's a full-time job, just like a job that would involve me leaving the house. The teaching that I'm doing with my kids is just as legitimate as the teaching that is taking place in the school. And my attention is turned to that just as much. So mentally, in order for me not to be overwhelmed and to feel like a failure when, the laundry's piling up, I haven't had time to even think of what's for dinner, and everyone's asking me what's for dinner. I've decided to give myself a break in realizing that I homeschool. I have a full-time job just like everyone else. And housekeeping is made even more difficult because you spend a lot more time at home undoing whatever it was that you did when you cleaned. My kids are not at school during the day so that I could hurry up and get the laundry done and sweep up. They're actually in the house with me while I'm trying to teach them and do laundry and cook and everything else. So to a certain extent, I've given myself permission to allow my house to look lived in. I mean, you're working on a science experiment with one kid. You've got flour everywhere. Another kid interrupts you. You're running here to answer an emergency that you got a phone call about. It makes perfect sense that things fall apart. And a lot of the homemaking things that we do get undone really quickly. Like how many times do we wash the dishes that are in the sink? But if a meal just happened, you look at the sink, it looked like you haven't washed dishes all day. I try to have a plan in place. If I have a day where laundry gets done, if I tell myself the bottom of the laundry basket may never be seen because, as much as I'm washing, we're using things. If I meal plan, I actually know what I'm at least supposed to be making, even if I run out of time and I'm not actually able to make it and I have to tweak it. And I've learned to simplify things. I'm not trying to learn a new way to make filet mignon in this season in my life every week. Once in a while, yes, but I've learned to keep it simple. Try to make simple, nutritious meals. Have a plan. Try to clean your house in rotation. Know that, one day maybe you're doing the kitchen. Maybe one day you're doing the living room. Maybe one day you're doing the basement. If you can hire a cleaning service to come in once a month or once every other week, call around and see. They're really not as expensive as you may think, so that you have somebody that comes in and does the real heavy work and you just have to maintain on a daily basis. As for the laundry, I've been delegating it to my children ever since they were able to push a button or help pour detergent. Kids can do a lot more than what we think they can do. And, it's part of the training process to get your kids to be obedient and want to do chores. Homemaking has to happen all together as a family, I think.